today. From Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, this is Madden Football on EA Sports.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Today, it's an AFC North matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. Taken about 7 yards deep. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
They'll start by running the option to the right. A good comeback there after the penalty, 9 yards, and it's 2nd and 6.
There on the tackle.
Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down.
A gain of 26 yards. First down, Ravens.
They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. It's Big Vince Williams who made the tackle. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. Dobbins hit and he fumbles. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
J.K. Dobbins, the ball carrier. Fumbled on the play. Recovered by the defense.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 34. First carry for the 2018 Pro Bowler, James Conner. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Patrick Queen on the tackle.
On 2nd and 7, Roethlisberger. And he whips that one incomplete there.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Play fake to Conner. Now Roethlisberger. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now Roethlisberger. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A very solid gain of 27.
Gain of 27 more yards.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2 and to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back at it.
And he loses the football a second time.
J.K. Dobbins, the ball carrier.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him wrong. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wondered, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
It's a gain of 6.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now, that was a high degree of difficulty on that one, but to me, it goes back to fundamentals and determination. High point the football and declare it yours.
Wide receiver, the ball carrier.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Yard gain.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Again, Jackson. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there, and it's third down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw again is Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. And Andrews lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers.
Jackson's pass complete.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. He'll throw from the gun. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Steeler.
No score after 1 on EA Sports.
Quarter with no score.
On 1st and 10 is Counter. Breaks through the contact. And now past another. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. Here's Roethlisberger. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. It's a foot race. He's at the 30. past the 20. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
Baltimore.
Well, he tried to get rid of it. Pressure was coming right in his face, and it turned out to be a bad thing.
And it's so easy to be critical of him in that spot. But when you have all those people bearing down on you, probably his last thought was just get rid of the ball. Give them what they want. Unfortunately, he gave it to them too well. Picked it off, ran it back for a touchdown.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
The conversion is no good on the fake.
I thought the days of the fake extra point were numbered once they moved these kicks back to the 15. Apparently, I was mistaken.
Yeah, I was wondering who was ever going to try to do this. In fact, I quit wondering. I didn't think it would ever happen. Taking a fake from the 15-yard line to try and pick up an extra point, I didn't think anyone would ever call this.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Taken from about the 12. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Past midfield, look out. And a heck of a return as he goes out of bounds across the 50 inside the 45.
Just about every special teams meeting, there's a discussion with the punter about his importance. Why? He can flip the field for your team defensively, move it deep into their own territory, or if you're backed up on offense, and he can hit a big punt and change field position and help his defense. In this case, though, field position got flipped by the return team. You can do it so many different ways on special teams.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
At the 15-yard line.
Shotgun handoff to Samuels. A strong running. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started.
And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off inside the 5. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20, 10, and he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski, okay? Oski
different
was an
things for different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many syllables.
Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll set up to throw it. Being chased out left. And he's going to keep it here. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Big Ben, not the most agile quarterback in NFL history, but he can use those legs when he needs to.
He really can, and I think it starts with him taking contact and shedding people trying to get him on the ground. That's when he becomes the most elusive.
Yeah, something he honed back at the University of Miami in Ohio.
Yeah, and they didn't get him down in the MAC. It's hard to get him down in the NFL.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one. Looking for the end zone. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Deontay Johnson, 27 yards. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And that'll make it 13-7. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by...
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble now, great field position. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Deontay Johnson on the other end of the throw from Ben Roethlisberger. And the Steelers are an extra point away from taking the lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
And this puts him on top by a penny. It's 14-13. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30? And a first.
First down. Baltimore.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Alex Alex Highsmith just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A pass.
And look at this. It's a fake. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Boy, that's asking a lot of your punt team there, and they were not able to deliver.
It's asking an awful lot of the punt team there because if it's 4th and 4, 4th and 3, you got a chance, right? That's a manageable distance to try and pick up when you're running a fake. But when that number's actually been in the weight room and it's pumped up like it was, that's difficult to do, all right? So you might even think to yourself, if I left my offense on the field, would they be able to pick that up? You can run a nice play and not get that distance.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
That's good.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Going for it all. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. His throw incomplete. Ray McCloud, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Connor on the toss left side. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Connor. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
At the Ravens' 6-yard line.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw here, Roethlisberger. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That was signaling a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Roethlisberger keeps it. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it.
Score, Steelers 14, Ravens 13. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, had he opted for the touchback.
Take over 1st and 10. At their own 20.
Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. This is Samuels. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are
trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And now off to the races down the right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Well, you don't want to coach him, Charles, to stay in the pocket on every play, but I guess that's the danger of getting outside of the pocket, extending a play, and making a bad throw. It turns into 6 points the other way.
Yeah, sometimes when you get outside the pocket, your vision actually gets obscured a little bit, or you narrow it down too much, and you don't see all the defenders in the area.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded in the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back.
The screen pass.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37. A very solid gain of 27. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again. Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson hooking up with Mark Andrews. And now the Ravens, they're just a 2-point conversion away from tying this up.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion. Jackson will throw again. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
Third quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe first or second, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to, I don't like to chase a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Steelers ready for their next possession. Now, last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So, in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. The drive will start with Connor. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
On the stop. A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9. At the
Roethlisberger eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. I know it appeared he was saying, hey, give me the football, I'm open, but I don't know if that's a pass that he should have thrown there.
Well, I don't think we've ever met a wide receiver that doesn't think he is open or is about to be open.
True.
So when you throw your hand up in the air and tell your quarterback, hey, I'm available, he's trusting that you are. In this case, he was not, and it turned into disaster for them.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Jackson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. The intended receiver out of the backfield was Jalen Samuels, but it's going to be 2nd down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
quarter of a 2-point game. A good one so far. Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Flushed out right. To the right side to Eric Ebron. There he goes, right side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Eric Ebron, 88 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers, or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Taken in the end zone. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football.
Right there.
And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
And now Big Ben will lead the Steelers up to go for 2. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got it. So they try for 2, successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. And boy, things switched on a dime here. The fumble recovery for the touchdown and also a 2-point try on top successful.
That feels like a momentum call. Pick it up on a fumble return, take it the other way for a touchdown. That's demoralizing for a team to have it happen against them. So the offense just says, you know something? Let's add to it. Pile on top, go for 2 now while their heads are down.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And he'll go right back to Andrews. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. You know, Lamar Jackson last season, the first NFL quarterback with 3,000 or more passing yards and 1,000 or more rushing yards in the same season.
And we see both of those talents on display here today. We just saw another completed pass. And everyone knew coming out of college he could run the ball. But for some reason, we didn't analyze it throwing the way we should have. I think every time he completes a pass, he says to himself, take that, evaluators. You guys really missed the boat on me. We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
Terrell Edmonds.
And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis,
Interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point now by Boswell. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken about 7 yards deep and not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that last pick six may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the fourth quarter. They need points quickly. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick six. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Jackson. That's complete to his running back, J.K. Dobbins. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Bryant with a catch right side. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
A pickup of 2 yards.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jackson. He gets this underneath to Dobbins. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A 1st down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
This is my move, baby.
Hilton, 30, 20. Now the ball comes loose. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here.
On the return, Johnson. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
They begin on the ground here with Connor. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
The tackle made at the 24-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup.
Again, a run with Connor. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Steeler.
Ben leaves to counter on the draw.
James Conner.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
39-yard line. 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and...
On the draw, Conner. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
He was brought down at the 45-yard line.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
Offensively, another big chunk of yardage, Charles, but defensively, they had all this talk about trying to limit explosive plays. They have not been able to do that.
They discussed it all week, but they haven't been able to execute it at all. Haven't been able to find a way to slow down this offense. They're seeking answers and not coming up with any.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Johnson, the intended target, and now it's 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Smith-Schuster brings up 3rd down and 10.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Ben to throw again. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. The former 1st-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it.
Marlon Humphrey on the coverage.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Able to complete this one to McLeod. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. One last shot for Jackson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
you irresponsible without your money or not? Thought he had a plan, but we gon' foil his plot. Heard him sneaking in, so we just ran in the spot. And then we spin the block around just like the hands on the clock. Are you irresponsible without your money or not? Thought he had a plan, but we gon' foil his plot. Heard him sneaking in, so we just ran in the spot. And then we spin the block around just like the hands on the clock. Come like a bat of the hell, I dare you to cross like a reverend. In my energy paralyzed, I'm like I'm finger 11. Take a second, I'm finna send it like a bearing a message to the best. If it ain't me, then you need you a confession, you a mess. You ain't scary to me. Heard you was a leader, but that ain't apparent to me. Put dust on you like cheetah, run up and I'm there in the scene. And I feel just like Vegeta Prince and I'm an heir to the seat. I mean, for real. Touch the driver's soft so I don't even grab the wheel. That's on my chest, but it don't mean the man is stealing. Man, I'm walking with some money, man, I mean a couple mil. Ew, think you need a meal. You ain't even eating while I'm feasting in the field. That's why I'm always cheesing, cause I feel like Uncle Phil. And all those losers think the freshman ain't half the man as well. Are you irresponsible without your money or not? Thought he had a plan, but we gon' foil his plot. Heard him sneaking in, so we just ran in the spot. And then we spin the block around just like the hands on the clock. Are you irresponsible without your money or not? Thought he had a plan, but we gon' foil his plot. Heard him sneaking in, so we just ran in the spot. And then we spin the block around just like the hands on the clock. Just like the hands on the clock, I go back to back when I'm doing numbers. All the mad that I'm driving the bus, so they threw me under. Heard they mad, they don't wanna bust, so they boo each other. Think that they're the winning team, go losing, then they choose another. And that's okay, cause I'm competing with me, not you. I live with blessings like I can't stop sneezing, not you. I hate to break it, but me and myself top two. I blow away the competition like a bowl of hot soup. And there's no catch. I go and get the bag and I'm not bringing it back. I'm like a down QB, I put the pain in the past. And if you ever had a problem, promise I didn't ask. So it's 444 in the car, my dash. I shake a big, told them all, you went first, you last. Little boy, that's facts. I'ma grow that cash to my money. You know what? Let me stop.
Yo, who told us we ain't gonna win, man? Really? He's a bozo. Bozo. Really? Yeah, we did a lot for the wins. Came in a drop on the 10. Now we on top once again. Yeah. I had to tighten the plan. Yeah, I got it right in the end. Now we on top once again. I don't want it if it ain't love. If it ain't, get it away from me. Who you gon' jack if it ain't us? LABB to the bakery. Some mad that I came up. I know my granny gon' pray for me. It was just us in the vacancy. We had to get it from A to B. Wheels never felt like this. 2 seats in the hills, how I feel righteous. Blue sheets for the mills, but the deal priceless. New keys can't care what's still private. I might just double it up. Did it? Never enough, I'm with it. 5, 2, 3 on the business. Whole team got wins and the wheels still spinning. I told them what I told them. We did a lot for the wins. Came in a drop on the 10. Now we on top once again. Yeah. Hey, I had to tighten the plan. I got it right in the end. Now we on top. Got a spot and it's locked to the click all in. I got ops, if he drop, I just hit my dance. I was pop, they just watched, had to take my wins. They wouldn't let me in. I've been on 10 cents. Who really holding it down? I've been holding it down and I go it again and again. Who was the dummy that died? I'm the coldest around, but he folding again and again. I'm in the what? I'm in the day. I'm doing 30 on 30 and up. You in the what? You in the way. Either you rolling or rolling the dust. You with us or what? Keep it running. We did a lot for the wins. Came in a drop on the 10. Now we on top once again. Yeah. I had to tighten the plan. I got it right in the end. Now we on top once again. We did a lot for the wins. Came in a drop on the 10. Now we on top once again. Yeah. Hey, I had to tighten the plan. I got it right in the end. Now we on 10.
Take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel. Did that splash, did that drip. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here. 20 teams, 6 rings with a pinky ring. Everybody used to pick at me, now I'm the one that they picking. Snakes out, they hit scene, but I can't hear it when the crowd screams. Still balling like an offspring. This for all the ones that doubted me. Gotta lose once to be a true winner. Only want the hunters with the blues in it. Eating blood across it where the blood thinner. Juice stay turned like, you know. I've been through that water like Olympic swimmers. Only bread and butter, what we ate for dinner. So I had to dream it till the dream is bigger. Only want the gold, we don't need the silver. Gotta be number 1, number 2 never count. Used to have bubble guts competition, now point them out. Making my babies proud, wanna cop my mama a house. Coming straight out the south, gotta know juice to end the drought. Yeah, I bought like 23. Won't fall again, and I put that on me. Yeah, I feel the way, my heart all on my sleeve. Yeah, that's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Come for the win, can't take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel. Did that splash, did that drill. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here. Reaching my goals, I do not feel ashamed. I'm a dog, I'm a beast, and I cannot be tamed. I don't do it for fame, it's the love for the game. I go in like I'm trained. I'm prepared for the rain, they amazed. I ain't break from the sticks and stones they threw. Anything that you can do, I can do it better than you. No matter what I do, achieve, still got something to prove. I spent the check on the diamond cross, but still ain't paid my dues. Gotta be number 1, number 2 never count. Used to have bubble guts competition, now point them out. Making my babies proud, wanna cop my mama a house. Coming straight out the south, gotta know juice to end the drought. Yeah, I bought like 23. Won't fall again, and I put that on me. Yeah, I feel the way, my heart all on my sleeve. Yeah, that's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Coming for the win, can't take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel. Did that splash, did that drill. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here.
She right got me.
Hit boy on the beat, so you gotta go berserk.
Okay. Sometimes you need a friend, not the ones that just show up and don't put nothing in. You know the ones that lend their hand and want to see you win. When you come up on that lick, make sure you cut them in. And then, sometimes you need a foe, one to keep your eyes open, keep you on your toes. You know the ones that want to keep you where you've been before. But I can't go, no I can't go. And whoa, sometimes I need a check. Not the sneakers, but the ones that make you watch your step. You change name, how about your respect? Give them more than what I get, expecting up the back. In fact, you know, I sat down with my accountant, he said, I got good news and I got bad news. I said, what's the good news? He said, the good news is you made a lot. I said, what's the bad news? The bad news is you spent more. Okay. Look, sometimes you need the faith, sometimes you need to know your worth, sometimes you need to wait. Shoot like the golden boy, but ain't from the bay. You can't negotiate with Drake, you gon' have to pay. But wait, jugging on the
Today, from Las Vegas, Nevada, it's the NFC Pro Bowl.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Well, we are a week away from Super Bowl 55 in Tampa, but the very best players in the NFL have made the trip out to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Get ready to settle in for an entertaining 4 quarters. The AFC-NFC Pro Bowl underway from Las Vegas. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So out comes the NFC for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the poster boys for persistence and belief in self. Because coming out of high school, he had 0 scholarship offers in the D1 level. Went to a junior college, went to Cal, and just blew up there. And then, of course, as a first-round draft pick, but a lot lower than what he expected in the first round, and then had to sit behind Brett Favre for a few years in Green Bay before getting his shot. Now he's probably one of the better quarterbacks that we've seen come down the pipe.
Running on first down is Cook, but he didn't find much there. Call it a gain of 3, second down.
The ball carrier.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came in quickly and made a nice, short tackle.
And now look at him go. Past the 20. Touchdown. T.J. Hawkinson, 68 yards. And the NFC has taken the early lead. So the NFC with our first touchdown of the game. And, of course, we'll probably see some offense in this one. I don't know, though, that we'll see what we saw in 2013 when the NFC posted 62 points.
You talk about pyrotechnics. That was crazy, even for a Pro Bowl. 62 points. I think you wore out your voice in that one, talking about all the touchdowns that were scored.
I would love to see 63 or more, though, I got to tell you. All about offense in this thing.
Pro Bowl offense. Let's go.
And he's got it. And he is not going to make it. They stop him up short, and this will remain a 6-0 ball game.
If we had $1 for every time we heard a team talk about explosive plays and how valuable they are, we probably wouldn't have to work very much. And we just saw a big one there. And then they tried to go explosive again, going for 2.
Yeah, is that a little too risky, you think? Just kick the extra point?
And you know, I'm all about getting points. And if I feel good about my kicker, I go ahead and do that. But with that ball at the 2-yard line, going for 2, I think it's awfully tempting for teams nowadays.
On the return, the AFC takes over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Off play action, he'll throw to start the drive.
Well, he's going to take a shot right away. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. Oh, breaks another. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. He's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
On the carry.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he lost gets the football. And that's picked up by the AFC. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling. Maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Brings up 3rd down.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. They keep it with Henry on first down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 6-0 our score after 1.
NFC 6. AFC nothing.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Derrick Henry. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 16 yards, a first down. A first down carry for Henry. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
It's a loss of a yard.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. It's going to be caught. And he will score. Touchdown AFC. Travis Kelce, 29 yards. And his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6.
NFC 6. Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The NFC takes over 1st and 10.
Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Rodgers into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and an AFC touchdown.
I have to believe that in a Pro Bowl situation, you know, we talk about these defensive backs during the season, that they're educated gamblers. They take the education out of it. They just go for the football here. Hey, try and make a big play, and if you get one, you really look terrific in this game.
Tucker now for the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score 14-6. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he's
probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
On second down, Cook. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the NFC punt team out there now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Look at the spin.
Balance.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. The AFC about ready to take over on offense. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Fletcher Cox never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. Mahomes finding Tyreek Hill. And the AFC adds on to their lead.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And that'll give us momentum going into the second half, give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game that 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
The NFC takes over 1st and 10 at their own 25.
Here now the NFC to take over on offense. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half.
try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And I think the AFC came up with that. They did. AFC football. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down, and he is into the end zone for an AFC touchdown. Derrick Henry in the final seconds of the first half, and the AFC is able to widen their advantage.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And it is gobbled up by the NFC. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things, and it won't come back and hurt them later.
He gets this to Devontae Adams. So we have hit halftime of the... And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half.
6. Younghoe Koo set to kick off.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the field.
Conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
The AFC offense set to take their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff...
He's got a man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. A big play there for the AFC. 42 yards. He's going deep for Brown. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was trying to get it to A.J. Brown that time, and that'll bring up second down.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
Now this one has been fun so far, as the Pro Bowl usually is. A lot of relaxed faces out there. 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes going to get this one to Hill. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 27 yards there, a first down. Allen to throw once more.
And while we may be looking at...
And he will score. Touchdown AFC. Tyreek Hill. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And this offense continues to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now it's Mahomes again. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The NFC takes over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Now the NFC heading out for their first drive of the second half. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have now looked particularly good all game long. A nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
10 at the 26-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. This is caught, and he will score. Touchdown, NFC. T.J. Hawkinson with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the NFC able to cut into that lead. So he's hit pay dirt twice, but still they're facing that deficit here in the second half.
So they're going to see if they can continue to find ways to get him the football, because obviously something is working for him to find the end zone twice. In any event, however this turns out, he's going to be hard to deal with in the film game, isn't it? He's not wondering why he's not getting more passes thrown to him.
Those big tight ends are getting greedy. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off, as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one, because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here, 3rd quarter. We'll see what else he has in store for us. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Pass complete to Derrick Henry.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now here's Mahomes. They set up the screen for Henry. And another tackle broken. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Hey, 43.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there at 22. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. And again, it's Mahomes. Looking again for Diggs, and this time he's got it. And it's scooped up by the NFC. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The NFC about ready to set up shop offensively. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the fourth quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and they'll have to live with that for the rest of the year.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
How about the timing on that one? Where they were in sync, weren't they? Three-step drop, balls out of his hands right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
AFC's 49-yard line.
Well, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop any defensively. Third down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's the NFC with the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Rodgers now on 1st down. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. He's at the 30. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and an AFC touchdown.
Touchdown.
Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
They'll try and run it in with Henry. And they are 3 for 3 on two-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
The NFC takes over 1st and 10 at their own 25.
The NFC offense heading back onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
specials.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
38-yard line.
Rodgers now on first down. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and an AFC touchdown.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for two. They'll try and run it in with Henry. And make him 4 for 4 now on two-point conversions as he'll take this one in for the score.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. Some tough running, but it only gets him to the 45. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
49-yard line.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. This one brought in by Jefferson. That catch good for only a couple. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and an AFC touchdown.
Touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
They'll try and run it in with Henry. And they're a perfect 5 for 5 now on two-point conversions as he is in to get them 2 more. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick six, and then the two-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense, everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
The offense for the NFC back out there. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rodgers. incomplete. Jefferson the target. Now the AFC going to use their final timeout of the half. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
4-yard line.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. 2nd and 8. So, Charles, final thoughts on this AFC victory?
Bottom line, nobody appeared to be seriously hurt. That's the first thing we look for in this game. Well played, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. I think that everyone's going to go home pretty happy, especially the AFC since they won the game.